My name is Tommy Springfield, and this is Welcome to My City. If you ever seen my page, my channel, I'm from Springfield, Massachusetts, and Welcome to My City is a tool that I use to highlight things that's going on in my city or in the Massachusetts area. So, today's video is something I know nothing about. I'm in over my head. I'm not afraid to admit that, but I'm going to try to steer you through this. So, recently, Springfield has been audited. And I watch so many people on Facebook, Donald Trump this and Donald Trump that. And no, it's your local government. It's your Governor Healy. It's fake motherfuckers like Adam Gomez that you voted in that had no fucking clue of what he was doing. He a blowhead, a street nigga. He a fat, smelly dude. He has no clue on what's going on in politics, but these are the people you vote for, and then they convince you to go blame other people. So in this audit, we find out that our great governor and all the other people under her was fucking up the money. They was fucking up the bag. So what I say to you stupid, uneducated people who out here blaming Donald Trump for everything, look at your local government. Vote better people into your local government, and you will survive Trump's 4 years. Enough of me talking. Let's get to reading the article. So the Haley administration used improper and unlawful methods to hire contractors for the state's emergency shelter system. A system that's been taking care of immigrants and illegal immigrants, yet we got American citizens out here homeless and fucked up. That kills me the most, when people out here really fighting and ready to die for immigrants, right, and their families, but you saying people ain't willing to die for U.S. citizens that's doing bad. You ain't willing to die for black men that's overly getting convicted for the same crimes that their counterparts are not. But you want to fight for these illegals, you a waste of time to port your ass with the goddamn illegals. So, a new audit released Tuesday found these methods led to overcharges and lack of transparency. Auditor DiZoglio, whatever her name is, concluded during a period in which the shelter system was tremendously strained by the numbers of unhoused Massachusetts residents and migrant families. DiZoglio's office says that as demand grew in 2023, the agency failed to adequately assess and act upon the increased demand for shelter services, resulting in improper and unlawful no-bid emergency procurements of food and transportation services that led to one vendor bidding on a project and taking over $9.5 million from the state for provided food. Spinelli Ravioli Manufacturing Company, Inc. So what they saying is, when homelessness was getting out of control in Massachusetts, your governor that you voted for, your Democratic governor, wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. She wasn't taking it serious. And she let it get to the emergency points where then you had these no-bid emergency procurements for food for these shelters and transportation services, which led to paying one company $9.5 million. You know what I'm saying? It was overpay. We was overpaying for this. But, you know, y'all not mad at y'all Democratic leadership, like the governor and Senator Adam Gomez and your mayor in Springfield and all. Y'all not mad at them. Y'all blame it all on Trump when it's your state fucking up the money, right? You ain't gonna have no food stamps and shit because your state fucking up the money. Not because Donald Trump is cutting fraud. Not because Donald Trump is kicking you off of food stamps because you're able to fucking work. Nah, not because of that. It's because your state fucking up the money. The office noted missing evidence and lack of documentation to support a no-bid contract with Spinelli's. So we don't even got documentation. We don't even know why they getting this $9.5 million. The auditor said the state didn't consider an opportunity to affect a flat rate, which Spinelli's with Spinelli's for food delivery service, resulting in overpayments on 9.6% of the deliveries. The company provided nearly 500,000 deliveries and meals at a cost of about $9.5 million. There was also missing documentation for when the state entered a no-bid contract with Mercedes Cab Company, Pilgrim Transit for transportation service that resulted in excessive costs and inflated prices. That report included the transit company completed nearly 16,000 trips with the average cost of $150 to $5 per trip for a total cost of $4.7 million. So when you on Mass Health and you call for these trips and you want to go to the doctor's office and you want to go here, sometimes those trips were only a mile down the road. But they was charging each person $150 per trip when you could have got in a cab and got there for $5. So these companies was overcharging us because people like Adam Gomez, people like our Governor Haley, people like our Mayor Dominic Sarno was letting us get robbed. Has nothing to do with Trump. This was before Trump. Has nothing to do with Trump. So you idiots and you stupids, mainly my black folks, stop repeating shit you don't know about. I know y'all dumb as fuck. I know y'all uneducated. And I know, especially the people I know you just watch TV and you report what you see and hear. But it's your local government fucking you over. It's not Donald Trump. We wasting millions of dollars on shit because nobody paid it any attention. I would love to get in some of that money to take a person a mile down the road and charge them $155 when they could have got in an Uber for $5. Come on, folks, start blaming the right people. Start putting the right people in position because we got to stop blaming Donald Trump. We have to. We got to start blaming our local government. We hope for the sake of history of not repeating itself, especially in areas such as a non-bidding contract process where taxpayers have grown increasingly frustrated and concerned with the appearance of impropriety regarding how and why no bid contracts were awarded. That this administration will embrace recommended reforms and move away from its defense posture. DiZoglio wrote in a statement, the auditor's office says the review of shelters system spending is the first in a series of performance reviews of the Executive Office of Housing and Livability Communities for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2024. The state auditor and his power under Chapter 11 Massachusetts general laws. The purpose of the audit was to focus on issues related to procurement and contracting in the state's emergency shelter system. That included assessing whether emergency food and transportation service were conducted properly under Massachusetts regulations. So, that was just a news report. You can actually go over to MassGov.com and look at these audits. You can click on 2025 Audit of Executive Housing and Living Communities. So we see they failed to adequately assess and act upon the increased demand for services, resulted in improper and unlawful emergency procurements for food and transportation. Let's see, because I was in this shit deep. Entered the EOHLC entered into non-bid emergency contracts with Spinelli for food services and Mercedes Cab Company Transit for transportation service. The demand for emergency shelter has already surpassed the baseline capacity of 3,600 units by January 2022. The graph below with I can't see, folks. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make this shit bigger. I'm blind. So, the $10 million procurement with Spinelli was contracted for 8 months, a duration that was inordinately long and inconsistent with the best practices for an emergency contract. see below, whatever. The 2.8 million procurement with Mercedes Cab Company / Pilgrim Transfers was initially set for October 13th, 2023 through April 13th, 2024, but was amended on February 9th, 2024 for an additional 1.0 million. Later, this contract was further amended for another 3.0 million and extended until June 30th, 2024. This too is inconsistent with law, regulation, and best practices for emergency procurements, contract amendments, and public transparency. Emergency contracts are intended to address immediate needs and are expected to have limited durations that allow Commonwealth to secure emergency services while providing time to secure more permanent services under legally and appropriately procured contracts, but no more. Said another way, the purpose of an emergency contract is met an immediate need and buy time from genuine legal competitive procurement to take place. An emergency contract is not intended to permit the Commonwealth to waive procurement rules to award long-term no-bid contracts to vendors. So, you see, they was just giving the money away. And nobody didn't care. Nobody was watching them. But yet, we out here blaming Donald Trump. We out here just acting like, oh, they doing us dirty. No, your local government is doing you dirty. Goddamn Adam Gomez, your senator, your governor, Healy, your mayor, they all doing you dirty, folks. And like I said, you can go over here and see the contracts yourself. You don't gotta believe me. You don't gotta believe nobody. Let's go to the article. We looking at the audit of mass health. The Office of the State Auditors has conducted an audit of payments made by Mass Health for non-emergency transportation services for the period of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2023. During this period, Mass Health made approximately $283.3 million in total payments to its two brokers, which were Massachusetts Regional Transportation Authority and the Greater Attleboro Taunton Regional Transportation. These brokers were responsible for arranging rides for Mass Health members to receive non-emergency service on cost-saving basis. The purpose of this audit was to determine whether Mass Health ensured that its brokers provide equal opportunity to contracted transportation providers, whether transportation services were properly authorized and documented in accordance with the law, blah, 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 blah. So let's go to the findings. Mass Health paid for 10 non-emergency transportations claimed out of 75 without qualifying medical service, indicating that transportation was not needed under Mass Health rules. Furthermore, 4 of the 10 claims without qualifying medical service also did not have trip sheets, indicating that the trip did not occur. So, we was paying these companies for rides that they wasn't even giving, or we was paying these companies for rides that wasn't even medical rides, and we didn't have the paperwork to support it. Mass Health overpaid at least $1 million for non-emergency transportation services. So as you can see, you can go look at the audits yourself. I'm not making this up. I'm giving you the information. The webpage is right there. You can go look it up. So when you out here running your mouth and you out here talking about Donald Trump, check your own state first. Check your governor, Healy. Call into your mayor's office and talk to Adam Gomez and ask them what's going on. Why are y'all allowing this money to be fucked up? Y'all got us running around here blaming the Republicans and Donald Trump when y'all fucking up our money. Pay attention, folks. Stop looking at the news and saying, oh, Donald Trump, and he's doing this and he's doing that. No, it's your local government fucking you over, folks. And like I always say over here, I present you with the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. And if you like how I do that, click that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos. If you're a supporter of the channel, much love and respect goes out to you. I salute. And if you're one of these haters that support the bullshit and you out here running around talking about Donald Trump while your own Democratic government in your state is fucking you over, cut the shit. That part.